Hello, everyone. This is Omar from the third grade. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Another show, another day, another play. Let's do the intro a little bit first. Got the wrong intro, see? Yeah, third rail, man. Itching like crazy. It's hot in here. How is everybody today? It's fine? Yeah. All right. All right, everybody. Today's show has it's called "The Grifters Are Us." I'm gonna be talking about all the grifters that we see on YouTube or in the social media, from journalists, from anybody. We're gonna discuss a couple of things about them and what they go about. First of all, the name of the show is called The Third Rail. You might wonder, why is the show named The Third Rail? In English, in political English, means the subject that nobody wants to touch on, or subjects that are very controversial. Before, we couldn't do them, and we still can't do them because Facebook and all that stuff are and YouTube are very, very. Let me check the microphone first. Forgive me. Hang out with me if you want. If you gotta go, goodbye. I don't care really. I don't really care about you, baby. Da, 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 da. Okay. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. Microphone check. All right, everybody. This is Omar. Our show today is called About the Grifters. Today we're gonna be talking about Taibbi, a former so-called liberal journalist, and Patrick David, who has an issue with Islam and called Muslims as terrorists. And they said that women are not allowed to have 4 husbands. And we're going to talk about Candace Owens and the Confederate flag. This woman, she has never met a black person she likes, though she's being black herself. It's unbelievable what she does and what she says and what she's getting away with. I feel fucking hot, man. Let me fix the camera a little bit more because I'm about to burn out, man. I'm about to burn out. All right. Don't be bored to death. Don't you dare be bored to death. Okay, let me fix this a little bit here. Forgive me if you can. Okay. All right. Because I feel like I'm too close to the camera, right? Let me lower it a little bit. All right. Is that a little better? Yeah, that's much better. All right, everybody. So welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about the grifters. We're going to start with who? With Mike Taibbi. Mike Taibbi, as you know, there he goes. Where is he? Mike, where are you? Okay.
Were in the country, and they invited him in, and they.
All right. As you know, Mike Taibbi was considered an independent. Taibbi was considered an independent journalist who saw things the right way, who spoke truth to power. He did not placate the left or placate the right. Then something happened on the way to Disney World. Elon Musk let him do the Twitter files. The Twitter files was nothing. It was much about nothing, really. I'm itching too much. I'm going to have to get this shit out. You know? It's too hot in here. Let me put the AC more on. So the whole issue with Mike Taibbi, he got to do the Twitter file. The Twitter file was supposed to expose how the right wing were being suppressed and how they were being shadow banned and all that stuff. All we saw was a company that was deliberating. They had meetings about who is dangerous on the platform, who are talking crazy. A lot of people were talking crazy, man. Especially around the January 6th thing. So Mike Taibbi all of a sudden has become the grifter that he is. The whole idea, I have an idea. Mike Taibbi probably wanted to be a grifter or wanted to make some money, but he didn't know how to get into that bubble sphere without looking like a douchebag. But he still did. So he used Elon Musk. He used Elon Musk as a vehicle to get to that shit. This is Mike Taibbi talking about how journalists should be in 221 with Joe Rogan. I just want you to listen to this. And then I'll be right back, okay?
There's a story about how in the early 90s, the CIA wanted everybody to know that they had caught, I think it was an Israeli spy. And so They called up Hirsch because Hirsch was the biggest, investigative reporter in the country, and they invited him in, and they said, look, we're going to show you all this material, right? And they brought him into a room, and
now he's trying to set up the premises that one of the most famous journalists in the 1990s, his name was Herschel something. He used to do a lot of investigative work. So when the CIA came and they called him to the CIA headquarters and they wanted to give him the paperwork, he said, "No, I can't do it like that. I'd rather earn it. I'd rather investigate than be fed information." This is the problem with Matt Taibbi of 2021.
Just gave him a whole packet of stuff, right? But he couldn't, like, his entire body rebelled. He's like, I had spent my whole life getting the things. I could not be handed the things. You know what I mean? Because it's just not in his nature, right? Like to be spoon-fed, right? And like, I think that's true with comics, with any kind of journalist. Like once you start getting,
he threw the word comic to carry favor with Joe Rogan.
Handed things, then you've lost. You know what I mean? They have you at that point. And
so Matt Taibbi saying in 2021 with Joe Rogan show he's saying that good journalists should not be spoon-fed any information or carry favor for other people or other entities or other rich people or the government entities. That if they want to do real journalism, they have to. If they want to do any real journalism, they have to earn it and they have to investigate it themselves instead of being spoon-fed. Now, why is Matt Taibbi of 2022 being spoon-fed through his ass by Elon Musk on Twitter? There was nothing there, and he's carrying favor with him. He even changed his profile from his picture or whatever it was to the bird, to the Twitter bird. Shows you how he's in. And all of a sudden, Matt Taibbi, who's this independent, fierce fighter, and he was good. I used to respect him a lot, especially when he did the thing on the housing market when it collapsed. Now, the problem with Matt Taibbi, now he's doing the work. He's doing the same thing that Dave Rubin did, that, what's his name, that Glenwood, was that Jeff Glenwood, whatever his name is, from Brazil, why left all these assholes who say, "Oh, that's why I left the left, because they too woke, they too that." Because there's money in right-wing media. There's a lot of money. I wish I could be a right-winger. I wish I could be a fucking extremist. I could be but I can't because my mind and my conscience won't let me. And I'm not a journalist. I'm a nobody. I got a camera and a microphone, but still, I still have some ethics. I don't want to lie to people that I'm with them. Oh, Donald Trump is the best. Everybody, Donald Trump is the best, and he's the best president we ever had, and he's always there, and he won the election. Oh, that bullshit. I could sell it, but why would I sell a lie? I'd rather respect myself. I don't make no money out of this YouTube shit, but I'd rather respect myself and speak my truth and not be some guy who just talks, makes up things as he go along. So what Matt Taibbi is doing is he's doing all the rounds. He's been on the Brett Weinstein podcast. He's been on the Ben Shapiro, that piece of shit, Zionist. I'm gonna show you the video. He's been making the round all over the media, right-wing media. Hey, I have another clip I want you to see. I want you to see the hypocrisy in this guy.
It's taking place, I believe, future.
That's another piece of shit here. Excuse me. Let me see what's okay.
Conservatism as an attract.
Okay, this is Matt Taibbi. It's not Taibbi بالعربي. Taibbi, because his parents, I think he was adopted. But he looks like he comes from a rich family. If you want to know some history on Matt Taibbi, he used to be in Russia. He used to work for a Russian newspaper for a long time. I don't know how that came to be and why. There's no money in Russia. So let's see what he has to say to Ben Shapiro about being conservatives. It shows you how fucking dumb he is.
There would have been no thought at all of conservatism as an attractive ideology for a young person. Like that was completely out of the realm of possibility. But now I think you see it very significantly with something like humor. There's just no sense of humor on the political left now. And that used
99.9% of comedians are left-leaning wing people. They are very liberal. 99. You only have what, Dennis Miller and that guy on Fox. That's the biggest lie I ever heard. Matt, you're a piece of shit. I'll tell it to your face. You're a sellout, man. 99% of the fucking comedian are left-leaning or liberal or people who are believe in the idea of live and let live, no restriction, whatever you want to say it. They have no dog in the game.
To be the exclusive province of the political left once upon a time. I mean, I grew up listening to Richard Pryor albums and, you know, that Sam Kinison. That was my education growing up. And those were our people, we thought. And now all of a sudden, there's no joking allowed on this side of the aisle. And that's one of the things that's
99.9% of comedians are fucking liberal.
Funny, incidentally, about Matt Walsh's movie is that it's.
Now, this is the biggest piece of shit of them all. Matt Walsh is a fucking racist, hateful, religious zealots with everybody. He made a movie about transgender women, and he just went around like an asshole asking, "What's a woman? Do you know what a woman is? Do you know what a woman is?" The whole movie is about what is a woman. The whole idea was to attack the LGBTQ community plus the transgender of that community. He has this idea that it is up to him to attack these people. Who cares what these people do? Honestly, I don't care what these people do. You know, I'm straight and all that stuff. I'm married. I got children. But, you know, we live in America. I mean, everybody has a right to live their life. But listen what he says about the movie. The movie was a racist movie. A matter of fact, it's a movie that could be, you could say, it could incite violence against this small community within our country. Excuse me.
Done with a kind of sense of humor and a satirical bent that's sort of taboo.
It was not a comedy. It was a documentary on transgender women. It had nothing to do with comedy, Matt. Do not lie to the people. Respect yourself, man. If you still have any self-respect, if I was you, I will just take off for 6 months and go to a fucking cave in Malaysia or in Myanmar and just hide over there for 6 months and rethink myself and what I have did. You built a lot of credibility. You lost it in one day because you want to have a lot of fucking Substack subscribers. You and that idiot Barry Weiss, who are for free speech. But if it's Palestinians, no. If it's Palestinian professors in colleges, no. Palestinian, no. If it's children dying in Gaza, they have to die for Zionism to complete its mission. That's what Barry Weiss said about Palestinian children dying in Gaza. And when she said that, she was in an infertility clinic, but she's married to another woman. So she wanted to have a baby. And she said that Palestinian children have to die because Zionism has to complete its mission, which is a shame. Let's see what Matt has to say about the funny movie he saw.
On our side of the aisle now, which I find really strange because that shift happened almost overnight and imperceptibly. I had done an interview with a woman named Kara Dansky, who is a feminist, a gender critical feminist. And it's not that I purposely shelved it. I just didn't want to deal with the blowback that I knew was going to come. I kept telling myself it wasn't the right time. So I felt guiltier and guiltier about that as time progressed. And when Matt's movie came out, when As a Woman came out, I realized I thought this was an opportunity to kind of fix that problem of having, not run that interview. So I did both at once. I reviewed Matt's movie and ran that interview at the same time.
Go fuck yourself. So what Matt Taibbi is doing here is kissing ass. He went on Ben Shapiro, another zealous piece of shit. And he's alluded to a movie that was meant to discredit transgender women, whatever. I have no skin in that game, but I don't think they should be viewed in that light. And who is Matt Walsh to define who is a woman? Who am I to define who is a woman? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, who elected us or chose us as the people to choose what a woman is? Anyway, Matt Taibbi, shame on you. You sold out. You lost all your credibility. You're going to make some money because there's money in right-wing media. But at the end of the day, You are nothing but piece of shit garbage. Anyway, let's go to our next segment.
You believe future looks bright. Get your latest future looks.
Okay, this is our second segment. This is Patrick David. Bat David. He's an Iranian who was born in Iran and he immigrated to the United States. He's very successful. He said he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This is what he does on YouTube. He sells fucking hat. This is what he does. It shows you these people have no credibility, man. He's making hundreds of millions of dollars. And look what he's saying first.
All the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you
He said, all the craziness that's taking place, I believe the future looks bright. Only if what?
believe future looks bright. Get your latest future looks
Only
bright.
if you buy
hat
those
by
fucking
Italian.
hats.
It says future looks bright here. Future looks bright here. We got them in white.
All right, got
we
red,
got them in
blue,
black.
red color,
we got them in red. Our black.
This man is worth hundreds of million dollars, man. I can't believe it. But this is not the issue here. The issue here, he's talking about Islam in a bad way. He talk about Islam in a bad way. We're going to show you the video, and we have to show you the video. And then we're going to see what's going on over here. All right? Let him finish selling his hat.
Come Black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan bought one, then he bought three. Then when those 3 people were in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the future looks bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying future looks bright. Toward your
Go fuck yourself. Because the times are so bad. Times are so bad that for the future to look bright, you have to buy one of his fucking hats. Now let's go to see what he said about Islam, which I think is a disrespectful way to talk about Islam. And he knows about Islam. He was born in Iran. He left Iran when he was 10 years old, and he came to the United States, and he's setting himself up for a good future, I think. He wants to be a politician, whatever the fuck he wants to be. And I really don't give a damn. But let's see. Let's share a video of what he said. He was on a podcast with a feminist woman, and he took the opportunity to talk about Muslims and Islam. She was asking him about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate just became a Muslim, and his take, it didn't sound kosher, man. It just wasn't there. I was trying to help him. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get the video. Let me get the video, Alex. Na'natullah, ya stupid ass. Talk about Muslims like that, you shameful piece of shit. Okay, I gotta make sure you have the sound. Last time I did this. Okay, all right. Okay, we got him. We got that. Okay, we're ready to share. Okay, I got it. Okay, he's on a feminist show, and they're asking him about about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate just became a Muslim. He's very man-like, and this guy, I'm going to be honest with you. In the United States, when men become really filthy rich, they become cocks. You know what cockhold is? Cockhold is a guy who doesn't care about his wife. She have a good time. He doesn't care. And listen to the video if you don't agree with me. Let's listen to this piece of shit. I'm going to stop it just to go over it. Ready?
Right.
Who wouldn't want that? Tell me what parent doesn't want their kids to be that close with each other. But there's one thing. Here's the one thing. When I was talking to him and he was given a lot of his philosophies, I've hung out with a lot of
Okay, he's talking about Andrew Tate. I'm going to show you a video from Andrew Tate, and I want to show you the difference between when men are men and when fucking cocks are cock. Patrick Davis a cockhole. I'm willing to bet anything on it.
Christian man, and I've hung out with a lot of Muslims in my lifetime. It seemed like both of those, religions had an influence over him. Both of them, where you feel a little bit of the Christian religion have an influence over him, but also the Muslim. In the Muslim religion, as much as people in America want to make it's a very peaceful thing. You've heard Bill Maher say.
So he sees Muslim as a terrorist religion, and he's going to quote Bill Maher, who's another piece of shit who hates Islam and Muslims, and he wants to create this environment or this scenario that Islam is a very dangerous religion, and they're trying to make it sound like it's peaceful in America. Forgetting there are 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. If these were all terrorists, you'll all be in trouble. Okay.
Say this before. What Bill says, most Muslims are not terrorists. But Bill Maher also says, but most terrorists are Muslims, right? So,
okay, let's talk about terrorism. In 2003, George Bush declared war on Iraq under the pretext that they were weapons of mass destruction. Now, he's a guy who's religious. He believed in Jesus. He's a Christian. So he declared and bombed the whole country of 25 million people, killed about 1 million Iraqis. Isn't that terrorism? I mean, why isn't that terrorism? I mean, who's the biggest terrorist here? Some asshole who blows himself up in a fucking Muslim market. They even killing a Muslim, they're not killing. Oh, George W. Bush, who's a fucking war criminal, who declared war in Iraq under the pretense of weapon mass destruction and killed about 600,000 to 1 million Iraqis. And his father before that, from 1992 to 2003, he had a sanctions and embargo in Iraq that, according to the United Nations, 600,000 Iraqi children died because of lack of medication and food. So isn't that terrorism? What is it? Isn't that terrorism? That's the real terror, David. Not some asshole who blew himself up or put a bomb inside his asshole.
When you read that, like, oh, wait a minute, you can't say that. Well, he's not wrong, right? When you have this kind of a conversation, there's a part of him where I think the way the Muslim community looks at women, it is very submissive. It is very, I get to do this and you can't. It is very, I can have multiple wives. You can't have multiple husbands.
Okay, are you listening to this piece of shit? He's saying that Islam allows you to have 4 wives, but doesn't allow women to have 4 husbands. I think he wants his wife to have 4 husbands. David, if your wife is pretty, and I'm sure you have good taste because you have money, I'm willing to marry your wife and we'll both share. How about that? Can we share? Since you want that equal right for women to marry 2 husbands, you can listen to Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has a beautiful take on that. This man said that Islam is very submissive to women. I'll be back to him. Hold on. This is what he wants Muslim women to look like. You see? Hold on. Okay. On the right are Muslim women on the beach, look fully dressed. They get to swim, have a good time. And this is Patrick David's wife and her fucking Bobby's sisters. That's what he wants. Is that equal right, David? If you want that for your sisters and your mother and your wife, that's your business. We have no issue with that. But we as Muslims do not want that for our wife and our children, my friend, or our daughters. This is not a problem. Let's listen first. Let's go back to the idiot before. We go, la 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 la. Wait, I gotta make sure I gotta do this all over again. Hold on. Because last time I didn't have no sound. And I did a whole show for an hour and there was no sound. And I felt bad. So David, Patrick David here, he wants women to have husbands like Muslims. You should have 3 to 4. I guess that's what he's saying. And I made him an offer. I'm willing to share with him. I marry his wife, and we could become husbands if that's what I have to say that because I don't like when somebody attacks my religion and my faith under false pretext of fuckery because he wants to look good. He wants to sound good because the woman in front of it is a feminist. That's the whole idea right here. Let me be back on you. Okay, here we go. Let him finish. I'm going to let this asshole finish while I go.
It is very, you can't get to sleep around, which, your body count. It is very.
So he's mad that Muslims say you can't go to sleep around. That's why you have HIV, you have sexual STD, you have sexual transmitted disease. When you have a relationship, a monogamous relationship, you're not supposed to sleep around. This is a commitment. When you get married, it's a contract between a husband and a wife. Or when you have a girlfriend, let's say in America, that's another commitment between a boy and a girl that they should be sincere to each other, not sleep around. If Patrick David, this cockhole over here, has an issue that women are not allowed to sleep around, holy fucking shit. This is unbelievable, man. I can't believe this guy is saying that. I can't believe it.
You wait for one man. It is very much of that, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know who, but I think somebody of the Muslim descent, Muslim religion, had a big influence on this guy, Tate, both of them. because you feel that. And it makes sense because in London, there's a big Muslim community. So whether there was a mentor or somebody, or maybe even his father, he had.
Mind you, he grew up in Iran. Iran is all Muslim. This Patrick here, he was born in Iran and grew in Iran and decided to say, oh, we are oppressed, so he could get out of the country and become an American citizen. They all do that.
As that part, because the way you look at women when you're from that religion is a different way than the way you look at women when you're a different religion. It's just a.
Okay. Let's go to the videotape. Okay. You see it? This is on the right. This is how we Muslims see our women dressed, fully clothed, respectful. They don't have that fucking bullshit that he's doing. On the left, that's their religion. So the whole idea is you do you, we do us. There's no need for you to criticize us or make us sound like they are terrorists. They mostly are terrorists. They're killers. And they don't want their wives to sleep around. And they want to marry more women, but their wives can't have more husbands. So I say, Patrick, I'm available, man. I'm really, really available. You got money, maybe I just, I will never leave her. You understand? Let's remove that and let's go back to the piece of shit that he is talking about. That's what he wants for women. That's what he wants. That's what he sees as a fair assessment of women. You understand? So when you compare this asshole, I'm going to show you the video of Andrew Tate, and you'll see the difference. You'll see a big difference between what men are supposed to be. Men are supposed to be the protectors of their wives. وَجَعَلْنَا الرِّجَالَ قَوَّامًا عَلَى النِّسَاءِ. That's in Islam. So we made men the guardian or the protectors of their women. Let's not kill each other with all this bullshit. Well, women's right. Women should be doing. No, I love you, women. You can have rights. You can have profession. You can become doctors and lawyers, whatever you want. But leave this thoughts, okay? Let me just make sure I have sound. Last time I lost a lot of time and I didn't have no sound. And I really want to do this shit justice because I think this guy is a piece of shit anyway. No respect. He's a cockhole. He's a cockhole. That's it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Yeah.
The truth. People can't say what they want to say. That's just how it is.
When you listen to his long form content, do you find him to be more of a positive influence than a negative? Or how do you wind up feeling in terms of his influence on men and society at large? Positive or negative?
Absolute net positive. I don't see anything that's a net negative.
Okay, so now he's giving him credit. Now let's go to our boy Andrew Tate. Oh, Andrew, this is the man, mashallah. This is Andrew. Now, let's see what Andrew Tate is. Now, David, whatever his name is, Patrick David, or Ben David, Beit Dawood. He probably Jewish, walking around as a Christian. I don't know what he is. I don't give a fuck. The whole idea is that David is saying that women should be able to sleep around. They should not be able to have just one husband. The problem is you already have that in Western society. You have women who will have, forget about the women, men. Women are the biggest dogs. They will have 3, 4 different girlfriends in different cities, no responsibilities. They will have children. Nobody's taking care of the children. Sometimes those kids, they grow up and they marry each other without ever knowing their brothers and sisters. It's a very, very crazy situation. But in Islam, when you're supposed to marry legally and have a social contract and be responsible for your children, you have to provide for the women and children and all the children have to be sided by you and you are responsible 100%. They don't like that. So let's listen to what my brother, I want you to show you the difference. Because I think Patrick, he's a cock. He's a cockhole. You know what a cockhole is? It's a guy who likes people to fuck their wives. Forget it. I don't care. It's not some children shit. Okay, this is a brother. Listen how he talks. Listen. MashaAllah alayka. Bismillah.
There is no way she is sleeping with endless men, and all of them are either high-value men or treating her the way she should be treated. If you find a woman who slept with 50, 100 dudes, she's either fucking dudes which aren't at her level or haven't worked hard enough to try and get the pussy. She was just too drunk to realize he's a loser. Plays video.
You see the opposite. That guy, Patrick David said women should be able to sleep with other men. This guy saying no, you lose value. If you're a woman and you're sleeping with other men, you have no value as a woman no more. You understand what he's saying? You devalue yourself. You know, men could have sex with other women, but they don't have the stigma of having babies of other men and different fathers. Let's see what he's got to say. I love listening to this guy. Don't agree with him 100%, but what I'm listening to him, he is better than this guy. What is his name? Patrick Ben David or Ben David. That's a cockhole. The problem is the more people have money, they become a cockhole. You know, they like, you know, they got a camera and watch
video games, or she's fucking a top G who barely texts her back. So either way, she's fucking dudes she shouldn't be fucking, or a guy who's at the level who doesn't give her the right amount of attention. For a woman to find a guy who's truly on a level, who truly treats her the way she should be treated, that's once every couple years, if that. You ain't just gonna go out there fucking a new dude every week and say, yeah, he's worth pussy. Yeah, he treats me good enough to get my pussy. Da da da. And you know what's funny about the universe? It's actually beautiful about the universe because it's equal and opposite forces. When you devalue yourself, it's kind of like men can smell it on you. They can just look at a bitch and go, oh. And that's the way it works. So you have to be very careful as a female and sit and go, does this man truly deserve to fuck me? And if you think about it, the answer 99% of the time, especially if you're promiscuous, is no. So when a woman is sleeping around with all these men, she's devaluing herself. She's devaluing herself, and the world knows, God knows, the universe knows. When a man does it, he doesn't devalue himself at all. That's just the way it works.
Can I ask you a question? Wait.
Mind you, he's been interviewed by feminist women. You see the difference? Patrick Ben David, he got interviewed by women. He just sold out. He's Muslim, a terrorist. Muslim like to have their women married. They want to marry more women, but their wives can't do the same thing. They don't let their wives sleep around. This was the crazy. That was a cockhole fucking segment. Patrick David, who sells fucking hats and he's worth $100 million, is a cockhole. Cockhole, my brothers, especially the Yemenis and the Arab community of the world. Cockhole in English means somebody who brings men to the house and have them have sexual intercourse with their wife as they watch. We remember Jerry Falwell, the biggest minister of 100,000 Christian colleges. He paid $2 million for the guy just to have his wife. This is what it's all about. This guy, this is a man's man. Andrew Tate is a man's man, man. I don't care what you say. Respect for Andrew Tate, brother. Salam Allah alayk.
So 1 second, sir, may I ask you a question? What would you say if a woman now is married to 2 men?
Haram.
Why?
Listen, this is the same thing. What would you say if a woman is married to 2 men? Listen what he has to say. Listen.
No, I'll tell you why. Let's talk about this. What is the difference between a man, let's say me, I have 4 wives, right? Okay. What's the difference between a man having 4 wives and a woman having 4 men?
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time.
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time, and we know who the parents are. Right? So let's say you had 4 pregnancies, you know who the mother is because she's carrying the baby, and you know who the dad is.
You see what he said? This guy is operating. This guy is the Matrix, man. This guy is talking truth to power. You see how he answered her? He said, what's the difference if a man is married to 4 women? They will all get pregnant. They will know their father. But if a woman is married to 2, 3 guys, who's the father? Who's responsible? I mean,
Top G. If you had a woman with 4 men and she gets pregnant, who's the parents?
What about if?
No, I'm asking.
Okay, I ask. What if they're different races?
Answer
one white,
the
one
question.
black.
You don't know.
Answer the question.
You don't know. Now, modern science can come along and maybe fix that for you, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong in the eyes of God. The idea of having a family, the idea of a child being born, one of the baselines for a new life to come onto this planet is for at least to understand who the 2 people who made it are. At least, if you have a woman fucking 4.
He's saying that for a child to be born, at least he has the right to know who the father and mother is, who's going to protect him, who is the legally mother and father. He wants to be part of the family unit, the family of the father, the mother, and the daughter and kids. That's what we need in our society. Not like that cockhole, Patrick Ben David, who wants his wife to have another husband. I am prepared to marry your wife. He has a mafia connection. He might get me killed.
Dudes, you don't even know who got her pregnant.
So may I just say?
Disgusting.
Wait.
Have you seen the twins that had 2 different dads?
Oh yeah, I saw that. May I just say something then? So if that is the case, yeah, if the one thing that you're meant to have is you, at least you know who the 2 people that put that child on earth are, then that's why promiscuity for men is also a problem, because they get women pregnant. Sometimes they don't even know they have children. That's haram, no?
No, it's completely different. It's different because you have to understand, I'm talking about humans. You look at humans from a societal perspective, but society has changed, right? So let's say 200-300 years ago, if a woman got pregnant, she needed a man to survive. If that man didn't take care of her during pregnancy, she was going to die. She couldn't work a job, she couldn't hunt, couldn't fish, whatever, right? A woman literally needed that man for survival. So if you were to come to me and say I'm pregnant, but you've been fucked by 4 different dudes, I'd be like, who says it's mine? Why am I looking after you? None of them want to look after her. She will literally perish. This is why in most of the world today, still today, virginity is so coveted, and throughout all of history it's been so coveted, because that's the only way to ensure paternity. She's a virgin, I know that's my baby. She ain't a virgin, prove it's mine. Outside of this modern science bullshit, Shaitan, the devil we have here in the West, in most of the world today, without virginity, or at least a low body count, or at least anti-promiscuity, you can't tell that that's your baby. So it's a completely different thing. You're looking at the idea of a woman being pregnant and coming to a group of men and saying, one of you has to take care of me, put up with me.
You see what he's saying? Huh? He's saying that the whole idea of a woman marrying 2 people, 3 guys, she has to come and say, well, you're the father, David. You're the father, Patrick. You have to be. It's not David. It's Patrick. That's not reality. We have to understand the family unit has to be protected at all time. We have to protect the I know I'm going to sound a little right-wing here, but it's true, because I want to speak truth to power. We have to protect that family structure that we have, the father and the mother, the son and the daughter, and they raise them up and they help them, and that continues throughout history. Once you break that family unit, then it becomes a free fall. It becomes everybody does whatever they want, then you have no society. Mothers, this is my true belief. The mother is the most important woman in a man's life, more than a man. Honestly, I'm going to say the truth as I can. The mother is the most important woman in a man's life. If she raises him right, he becomes productive and he becomes successful, and his success, society benefits. Without the mother and the house that helps nourish that child and make him a full, successful man, then we have a problem here. Let's go back to the videotape.
When I'm fat and moody and annoying and I need my bills paid. And all the men are going to sit there and go, no, fuck no, prove it's mine. You can't prove it, bounce. Where it's different. If I get 4 women pregnant, we know the deal.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So obviously back then for survival, women needed a man. Otherwise, when they were pregnant, could die and all of these things, they would perish.
Yeah.
In today's society, given evolution, given the fact that as women we can go and get. Yeah, but I'm not saying that. Isn't there a glitch between what is actually happening and the nature of what we have in our bodies? I think that's probably the conflict that we're having right now.
Glitch in what way?
In the sense that women don't feel like they need men in the most physical sense, perhaps like naturally.
It's very interesting. Women don't feel like they need men in a physical sense because life is soft, but it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because you still need men by proxy, 1, and 2, the second life gets difficult, you very quickly learn how much you need men. But women will go, I'm independent, I don't need no man because I have an OnlyFans and men pay my OnlyFans, and if anyone comes up to me, I'll call a male police officer. I don't need men. Shut up, you fucking idiot. Of course you do. You just named your whole life is based on fucking men. The road you're driving on was paid by a man. The house you're living in was built by a man. The car you're driving was designed by a man. Your whole life depends on men. And the second anything bad were to happen to you, the second you were physically threatened, or times were to get hard, or war were to start, or famine, or riots, the first thing you do is find a big strong man, shit yourself, and throw the feminism out the window. Feminism goes out the fucking window the second that the snow needs shoveling, or there's a fucking broken down car, or the tire needs changing. Then all that crap vanishes. It's garbage. And this is the very interesting thing. I'll make a point here. Which is going to get canceled again. I don't give a fuck. But this is the point. Feminism in and of itself can't be defended. The point of an idea is that it can be defended by the people who believe in it. This has been the whole point of war since the dawn of time. It doesn't matter if it was the Christians against the Hindus. It doesn't matter if it was the Germans against the French. There were people who had ideas and ideologies, and they're prepared to fight each other to defend their ideology. Feminism is an ideology which cannot be defended by feminists. The only people who could defend feminism are the men who subscribe to the garbage. If all the feminists were to get in a line and say, we want feminism, and the conservative men were to get in a line.
What he's saying is that even feminism is defended by men. He's going to give you a good example about the Afghanistan war. Go ahead.
You will learn very quickly it's bullshit. I had a friend in Afghanistan when Taliban kicked America.
Listen to this, please. Listen.
And he told me the Americans were telling the girls they could go to school. So they built all these girls' schools, and they put the Afghanistani Defense Forces there, and they funded the Afghanistani Defense Forces to protect these schools. You had American satellites, you had night vision goggles. Taliban were afraid to attack. America leaves. Now you have Afghani Defense Forces. They're basically blind. They don't have satellites anymore. Don't have night vision, whatever. So now it's a real war. The men are standing next to this girls' school. The Taliban are coming. You're some dude. You're standing there, and you're looking at this girls' school going, I don't really give a fuck if girls go to school. Bounce. And you didn't fight. So that's why they all gave up and Taliban took over so quickly. And when I said this, the girls like, yeah, they should have fought for us, feminism. Why don't the women fight? The women have to defend their own fucking idea. You need men to defend feminism. So that's
what he's saying is that when the men ran away and protected the girls' school, and the women said, why did they protect these school, these men? He said, why did the feminists come and fight for their cause? That means men are the cornerstone of every home. The woman is very important home. Now, don't get that twisted. The woman is, I think, is the crown jewel of the home. But she has to let the man be a man. Women, you have to let your husband be husband. Stop talking over them. Stop undermining them. You have to let men be men. Let them be the protector of the house. You can't just treat them like shit. Come on, man.
Why the whole thing is stupid. So the second men don't defend it. It just fails as a fucking ideology. It's garbage.
May I tell you something now? So this is the thing. This is when we assume that women perhaps don't have the physical or even mental ability to go to war. Wait. Because this is the thing. For example, in Ukraine, a lot of women took up arms. And in fact, I'm Angolan. I'm Angolan. Wait, I'm Angolan. And
don't lie.
Listen,
to the people at home.
Wait, no worries. I'll talk about my personal story.
Don't lie. Ukrainian women did not fight. All the Ukrainian women, and we saw that in the beginning of the war in Ukraine. Men and children were told to leave the country, while boys over 16 were told either go fight or they're going to go to jail. Do not be a revisionist and start making all this fucking heroic women are fighting in the forefront. Look at them. They probably made some bread and butter for the community.
No, wait, let me tell you something. This is the thing. I think it's also really like silly to assume that, for example, a woman, because she didn't go to school, she'll not be as intelligent as a man. Therefore, naturally, a woman is not intelligent. No, it doesn't make sense. If we're now starting to normalize equality and we want to put everybody in the forefront, give a woman a gun.
Who's normalizing equality?
Well, that's what people are wanting. Then that's
people
the case.
Like who?
Let me tell you, Auntie.
Who wants to normalize equality? People like who? Feminists. Who
no, I want, well, actually, no, I want respect. That's really what I want.
Stopping you from getting respect.
No,
I love the sister. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you?
I get respect.
I get respect. I get respect.
So,
that's what I want. That's what I like.
Respect.
What I think is,
you don't even know what you want.
I'll tell you what I
want. Know what you want. You want
as a woman, I carry myself differently. I actually hold the things that I have done in the fights that I fought. I hold it. That's why when you speak to me, I don't move different. I move different to many of the girls. That's why when you talk to me and you argue with me, I don't take it. You do sometimes. And I'll tell you something. A lot of women may have the accolades to be somebody, but they are uncomfortable to own that. And the reason why, then I would like to ask you, for example, I do need a man, for example, to, you know, procreate. But other than that, I'm quite strong. And I would find a way to protect myself differently. With that mentality, what would be for me then?
Janava, what would you do if one of these security guards broke into your door?
What would I do?
See, I know how to protect myself. I know. Okay, she said, what are you going to do if one of these security guards in the studio broke down your door? Let's see what's the answer. Now call 911. That's it. Get another guy to protect them.
Hey, I'll tell you.
What would you do? What would you do? No, seriously, there's no guns here.
She's a feminist.
I'll tell you. No, I'm not a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I'm a bit smarter.
Okay,
Either I play dead. One. Yeah.
Okay, they see you're not dead.
It's okay.
They
no, I'd be like
breathing.
this, and then if not, maybe I would kind of like be very gentle and comply to find.
All right, let me let this segment go because it's gonna stay a long time. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy Andrew Tate. I think Andrew Tate is a fucking very, very smart man. He makes some mistakes. Sometimes he overtalks, and sometimes he tells the truth, but the truth is so harsh that the woke mentality are not able to comprehend it or process it right. When he's talking about women should be, he wants boys and men to be men. Just give them a chance. He wants boys and men to be men. And I want all the women to give them that opportunity and that chance to be men. Just let them be men. Stop undermining them with this, oh, I don't want to know your feminine side. oh, you're not talking about me, about your feeling. No! We don't want to know nothing about no guys' feelings, man. Guys have no feelings. They're all idiots. X one right here. The worst thing is that, anyway, third segment. It's short but sweet.
Problem with people whose family members died fighting for that flag to be people whose.
Okay. The third segment is about Candace Owen. Candace Owen is the filter, is the black filter for white racists or white racism. Every time a black person is shot or killed, or like George Floyd, or like Ahmaud Arbery, she will come out swinging. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He was a piece of shit. And Ahmaud, he was trying to steal the nails because he was in an empty home. He was a thief. He was shoplifting. She has never met a black person that she liked, and she's black. She's a self-hating black woman, and it's a shame. And she always uses this. By the way, I could pass with black, not because I'm my color. My father is very dark. So if you're going to use color as a race, which I really should not be. I don't think color, white or black, should be a race. It's just a color. But if you're going to use that, I am black, and if you want me, I'll bring you the receipts. Anyway, I have been following this woman for the last 5-6 years. She started her career as a liberal. She hated Donald Trump. She was for liberal ideas. A matter of fact, she got somebody attacked her. Some mayor's son attacked her and dehumanized her, and she was sued by the NAACP, a black organization, and she got $46,000. Then she started a blog, a liberal blog, in 2015. This is Candace Owen. It was a liberal blog. She was attacking Donald Trump. She saw there's no money in it. It's all about this. It's all about this. It's the grift. Grifters are us, man. All about this.
With people whose family members died fighting for that flag to be.
Shut up, Candace. Shut up. So the whole idea is Candace Owen, honestly, she always, when she debates like black men, well, we used to be better during the Jim Crow. Really? Jim Crow? They were fucking. Have you ever heard the song Strange Roots by, what's that name, Billie Holiday or something like that? Which you talk about how black people were being hanged in trees all over the South, so to push them and cleanse them under the Jim Crow. She said that black people were better under Jim Crow than they are today. Jim Crow was a terrorist organization. The whole idea, when slavery collapsed, you had a lot of black people in the South, and there were more blacks interested than there are whites. So it became politically scary. And when they went to vote, the black voted for blacks. They had congressmen, they had senators, they had governors. So what they did is they created Jim Crow as an organization to lynch black people and to scare them so they could move down to the north, to New York and other states. That's why you have a lot of blacks in New York or in Harlem. All they trace their family to North Carolina, South Carolina, or the South. Anyway, this is a different story. So as you know, before we get to our story, is before the Civil War between the South and the North, there were more than 5 million black American men, women, and children were slaves in the South. That means they were property. They were owned by other people who happened to be white. The issue here is that not all white people had slaves in the South, but if you had 5 million slaves, that means there was a large amount of slaves, and a large amount of people did have slaves. So what happened is the Civil War took place, and we won. I'm sorry, we won the war. The North won the war, not because the North is strong, because we had the right idea. Our vision was a one country united from the Atlantic to the Pacific. No human should own other humans, and the war was fought, and 600,000 Americans died in the Civil War in the United States. Now she's talking about the Confederate flag. This is the most shameless piece of shit I've ever seen in my whole life. It's a short segment. I don't want to get the whole thing. Let's listen to her first, then we'll talk.
See a problem with people whose family members died fighting for that flag to be able to wave it high.
She's talking about people who fly the Confederate flag right now. A lot of people take, a lot of black people are hurt when they see it. They're like, why are you doing that? I mean, are you trying to say that you were pro-slave, that you still want to own me? But she doesn't see that because she's seeing this, the money. That's what she's seeing. Even her wife is white. She always tells the black men, You guys, you left your wives and your children and your absent fathers. Yeah. Well, Candace, you left the whole race. You only got married to some British guy named Farmer who's not even circumcised. Circumcision. Get it?
It is historical. And the idea that your son or daughter went and marched in a war, people are just so stupid. They think they were fighting for slavery. Those people who fought were piss poor. They never had a...
Okay. What she's saying is that the people who are celebrating the Confederate flag right now, their parents who died didn't own no slaves. But the problem is they fought for the idea and the institution of slavery. So if you don't own no slave, but you fought to keep that institution alive, you are as guilty as the person who owns slaves. Example, let's say Germany, the Nazi Germans. Not all Germans were Nazis, right, Candace? They were not all Germans. Not all. There's the people who were not the communists, whatever. But they still went to war and they fought under the banner of Nazism, which, as you know, historically killed 6 million Jews. More than 60, 70 million people died in the war from Russia to the United States. It was a disastrous results from a movement that was very dangerous. Now, let's say in Germany, you're not allowed to fly the Nazi flag, like here right now. I mean, you don't have a law against it. But if we use the same argument that Candace Owen is telling us, those people, their family died, they're not Nazis. They just fought for their country, right? They were fighting for the idea that Germany should be free and strong, whatever. They didn't have nothing to do with the Holocaust, the gas camps, or the killing of innocent people, or killing of black people and gypsies and all that stuff they considered inferior. So why can't we use the same argument if we're going to use that argument for you? That's what makes Candace Owen very dangerous. Candace Owen is a very, very dangerous individual. She has no traction in the black neighborhood. If you remember during the GOP convention of 2020, they didn't invite her because most of her fan base is all white nationalists who just go, Candace, you're the best, Candace. You're the best black girl we have. Talk, curse on black people for us. This is what it's all about. She's very dangerous in that kind of way. When she comes out swinging and call George Floyd an alcoholic, a bastard, a drunk, whatever those names she called him. Whatever he was, he was. Let's say he used drugs. Okay. Let's say George Floyd was a drug addict. Okay. Let's say George Floyd had domestic violence. The question is, did he deserve to die the way he died at the hand of law enforcement? That's what the question is, Candace. We're not talking about his past. We're talking about that one event that cost him his life. This is the whole issue. Ahmaud Arbery was jogging in the neighborhood. They had this house was empty, and it was still building. It had nothing to steal. It had nails and wood. A lot of people, they have camera. A lot of people used to go in, watch, and leave. But she said that no, he wasn't there watching. No, he's not. I know my people. I'm black. He was trying to steal. Now, when you look at what the fuck was he going to steal out of that empty building, Candace? What was Ahmaud Arbery going to steal out of that building? Nails? 4x4 wood? I mean, it doesn't make no sense. This is what makes her more dangerous, because she's willing, every time there's an issue that concerns black Americans, she will jump and she will put a new wig and run right to fucking Tucker Carlson and just swing at black people. She don't give a damn. Now, Candace, you live in a free society, but your ancestors suffered here in the United States. Not blaming all white people or saying white people are evil. No. But at that time, the system was evil. Women were sold. Women were raped. Children were sold. You have to have your child, and they'll take that child and sell it. It's like, I'm going to excuse my comparison. Like when we were children, we were raised like dogs, and the dog will have excuse my language. I'm just trying to, to make sense, trying to bring it home. This is how they treated the black people in the South. You will take some of the babies that he had and you will sell them to other people who want the animal. So what they did, the same thing. As soon as the black women had 2 or 3 babies, they grow it. They take them to the auction and sell them. They never meet their mother and father again. You saw how they whipped them, how they beat them. It's unbelievable. And for you to go up there and defend the Confederate flag, you are a piece of shit. And you are a loser, a loser, a loser. All right, let's go. Let me remove this piece of shit. I was going through Facebook, and I just saw this crazy shit, man. Let me see this. This is some crazy guy I know on Facebook. He did this. Wait, let me fix it right. It has that Trump and Jesus are walking, and it says, I don't know, together we will bring peace. Jesus just drowned him. He said, God damn it. This is the funniest fuck, man. This is funny shit, man. Allah, I don't like it, right? He just said, I had enough of you. I had enough of your fucking fuckery, Donald Trump. Okay, now let's go. I want to do, every year, before I go, this is a short segment. It's not a big deal or anything. In the United States, we go through this process of called the War on Christmas. Conservatives sell this idea that every year they have to defend Christmas against secularists or people like us who believes in, what do you call it? Let me get rid of this, man. That, where is it? That's why I need a producer. I need a producer, guys. I really do. Okay. So every year, conservatives play this little dumb game on other white people. We got to protect the war on Christmas. They try to take the war on Christmas. They don't want you to say Merry Christmas anymore. They just want you to say Happy Holiday. Every year. Or they say we're saving Thanksgiving. Or they're going to say they're saving Easter. Or they'll be saying they're saving the 4th of July. How about you saving yourself and get the fuck out the way? How about that? You fucking, excuse my land. Okay, let me see if I have this ready. If not, I'm going to go. Once upon a time, there was love in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. There's nothing I could say. There's nothing I could do. It's total eclipse of the heart. I don't want it. God damn it, I don't want it, man. I just put on Twitter and Elon Musk want me to buy the blue checkmate. All right, let's see. There you go. This is the first. This is on Newsmax. They're talking about dumb shit. That's why they don't make no sense, man. That's why sometimes people leave religion. Because once you leave religion, people are not making no goddamn sense, man. You're trying to make sense and you can't. Now, they have this panel. Okay. It's a famous actor. I think his name is, what's his name? Kevin Sabo, whatever his name. Yeah, Kevin Sabo. Remember, he used to be He-Man who played the Hercules. He used to play this superhero on. So the whole issue here, they are discussing what Biden said during his speech. Now, listen to fucking how idiot they are. Okay, hold on. Go.
This gradual decline in actual religion and this push for political correctness. And I feel like they're trying to make the environment like the new woke religion.
Where does
it end at this point?
The national Christmas tree lighting seemed to be empty, if you want, of any references to the actual meaning of Christmas. What was your initial reaction to this?
Well, President Trump never left it out, did he? But along comes Uncle Joe, and it's amazing to me because you look at him, you look at Nancy.
Trump was having sex with hookers, man. I can't believe this.
These are the same people that will claim they're devout Catholics, that they're Catholics and all that, and they want to make sure they can get their, 2 bits in there to just sort of pretend that they care about the Christian crowds out there. But at the same time, these are the same people that believe abortion, believe in the murder of babies, and no matter what stage of the pregnancy. So they don't follow the Catholic rules very well. So I'm not surprised that he does this. And it blows my mind that people just constantly give him the pass on that as well. But they don't care. They don't care what they put out there. They don't care if they say. They don't care if they lie. They don't care anything about that. I mean, we're past hiding any of the hypocrisy that this president and his staff have to say. And his cabinet just goes right along with it. And they're behind him 100% all the time.
This war on
this was not the right segment. I messed it up. Okay, they had a segment that they said that Joe Biden didn't say Jesus. He said the Son of God. Now, I'm not a Christian, but I know a lot about the Bible. Now, if Joe Biden said the Son of God during his address, in the Bible, the Son of God, the Son of Man, whatever, Jesus, there's no such thing as Jesus. Jesus was never a word, Yohanna in Arabic, because the letter J was founded in the 14th century. So Jesus died before he even know his name was Jesus. Jesus died before he even know there's a religion called Christianity, because Christianity was founded by Paul. So all these idiots, we gotta shave Christmas. Let me say another idiot here who talk about Christmas. This is shameful what they did. I think it's very, very, very shameful. I think it's unhuman, man. You know what? We have a lot of issue at the border, right? We have a lot of issue at the border. We don't have a good immigration laws. So what happens right now is if people show up at the border after a week or so, we have to let them in, because as soon as they say I'm on asylum, they have to let him in, no matter what, because we don't have no law, because the Democrats and Republicans refuse to work and make real laws and protect the border. I'm against mass immigration. As an immigrant, I'm against mass illegal immigration. I don't think we should have immigration like that. We should have controlled immigration, chain immigration. People who have been here, they should be allowed to send their kids and all that stuff. And we could give a program of work visas. We could do what the Arabs do in the Arab Gulf. They don't have to be citizens if they don't want to. You could come and work every 3 years, and you could go back to your country, stay with your family. If you had a good record, whatever, you could come back again and work, and it will work for everybody. The only thing is, because the Republicans are afraid these people might become citizens, and at the end of the day, they might vote Democrat. You know why you're gonna vote Democrat? Because you motherfuckers don't give anything for people to vote for you. You don't offer anything. Where am I? Where am I? Well, is that me? No way. That's not me. Yeah, that's me. See? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me let you know what this is all about. Governor Abbott, who's the governor of Texas, some guy who's in a fucking wheelchair, he can't. From his waist down, he cannot walk. Was like 10 years ago, Chief on him. You know, somebody who almost came close to death and his dick doesn't get up no more. You think he would love other human beings. But on Christmas Eve, he was taking people from Texas, immigrants, putting them on buses and taking them to other states and throwing them in the street. There's nobody there to pick them up. This is what I'm talking about. And these are the people who say, Jesus loves you. No, you don't. Look at it. Children. This is the coldest. This is the coldest night in the United States. He takes immigration from the Texas who are legal, because they are here legal. Because according to American law, if you're an asylum, you are legally here. So they are legally to be in the United States. They are not illegal. They are legal immigrants, because until the cases are heard by the courts if they deserve asylum or not. A lot of them don't deserve asylum, but still under our law, they are legal. So what he's doing is illegal. He's taking them off the street in Texas, throw them in buses, and throw them to Washington, D.C., to Chicago, to New York. Right now, we have the coldest weather in history, and this piece of shit on Christmas Eve. This is the war on Christmas. We got to shame the war on Christmas. Those liberal Yankees want to destroy Christmas. They want to destroy God, and they want to destroy the church. You are the evil motherfuckers. You are the evil. We're the kind people in the north, other islands, in California, whatever. We take these people in. We help them. We give them food. We give them shelter. And we find them places to stay. We get them doctors. Not like you just throw them in the buses like this. They're like cattle, like the cows. And wallahi, hada kalb ibn kalb alayhi na'matullah. That's why, you know, I'm having that wheezing shit. I'm going to go to a doctor. I was wheezing. So, about 20 years ago, he was jogging and a tree fell on him and he can't walk. He can't move from his waist down. He probably can't shit it. He probably shit into a bag. And he's evil. He cannot see through that. You know, God saved him to help others. These are the immigrants. Christmas Eve. They are cold and freezing, man. at this. Look. Look. You see? Anyway, that's about it. We had a good show. Oh, we had a long show today, right? I had a lot more to talk about, but I just, I'm getting tired, man. We did my Taibbi. Before we go, let's listen to the cockhole. Oh, Patrick, you cockhole. He's a cockhole, and he loves it. This is the millionaire, multi-millionaire Patrick Bait Daoud. What a piece of garbage.
Looks Bright hat. Click over here, and to watch the entire podcast.
Wait.
I believe.
This is how he starts the commercial. Because times are so bad. Times are bad. Bet you could get better if you buy my hats.
It's taking place. I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here. Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white. We got them in black. We got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person.
All right, I'm gonna buy it right now.
One, then he bought three.
Give me 100
then
of
those
them.
3 people were in the office. They had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here, and to watch the entire podcast, click here.
Imagine this guy's worth hundreds of $1 million, and he's fucking selling hats. I know a lot of people going to say this is a hard-working man. No, he's not. He's a piece of shit. He's a fucking greedy piece of shit. Really? You're gonna get up here and sell hats? Really? Come on, man. Let's not be, let's not get each other over here. Anyway. Yeah. Go, baby, go. It's time to go. I want to thank you very much. Thank you for coming to the show. You are the best. This is the third rail. Share and follow. Let's start this army, man. Let me start it over again. Stop. This is Omar. I'm from the third rail. I'm going to do this commercial. I'm trying to get people to join my channel. Come help me out, man. Let's build this army together. Let's talk truth to power. Let's be us. Let's build a man and manhood against all those haters who hate us. We are the future, man. The third rail is the future. Please come and join it. Get some rock music on that, man. I hope it isn't finished.